That brings us to Prairie View A&M head coach Heishma Northern. Is Coach Northern on the call?
Yes, I am.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Big win for your Panthers up at the State Fair Classic this weekend. Congratulations on that. If you could just summarize that, and then you've got Southern. You had actually two Southern in Baton Rouge Saturday evening. If you could talk a little bit about the Jaguars, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Well, first of all, it was a great win for our program here at Prairie View. Wins against Grambling don't come often around here, and I'm just happy we got one going up against a place I spent a lot of years. I have a lot of family history going back to Grambling, so it was a great win for our program just in general. Going down there, our starting quarterback gets hurt. Jonathan Trost comes in and has an outstanding ball game. We were able to run the ball a little bit. I think that helped us out tremendously. Moving on, I tell our guys that that Grambling game is not going to help us any further. But moving on to the game this weekend down in Baton Rouge, my hometown against my alma mater. Just looking forward to going down there and representing Prairie View A&M University again. In my opinion, we're facing probably one of the most improved teams in the conference. If you're looking at from a personnel standpoint, you can see that they've gotten a lot better, a lot stronger, and a lot faster. And it looks like they have a good idea of what they want to do with the football on offense. And I see some guys flying around on defense, Peyton and Virgil Williams and doggone Dexter James all over the place on the defense side of the ball. So, we're going to have our hands full. We both have, in my opinion, still pretty young ball clubs. So it's probably going to come down to special teams and turnovers once again.
Coach, you mentioned Lovelock getting injured. What's his status? And then talk a little bit about Trost coming in and having such a big game.
Well, Jerry sustained basically like a hit on the ankle. It wasn't a sprain or it's not broken anything. He took almost like a funny helmet hit on the ankle, and it just left him where he couldn't move to the point where I felt comfortable putting him out there. I think he could have played, but I think when you have 2 or 3 good quarterbacks, in my opinion, like we do, I had no problem saying, Jerry, you just stay over here and watch for a minute, and we'll see how the flow of the game goes. And fortunately for us, Jonathan came in, I think may have been 23 or 27, somewhere in that range, and had an outstanding ball game. But like I say, that's what we expected from him from the beginning. So we feel very comfortable with either of our 3 quarterbacks being in the game.
Coach Northern, James Verrett, Fox Sports Television. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you, James?
Doing fine. First of all, if you do have a quarterback controversy, who do you have early on as your starter for Saturday's game?
It's no quarterback controversy. We're going to play the best guy. If it's Jonathan, depending on how the week of practice goes for Jerry, then, if Jerry has a good week of practice, then he's going to be our starter. If he doesn't have a good week of practice, then we'll start one of the other guys. We don't look at it like it's a controversy because we have been in games where we have played all 3, so it's no big issue. Like I said, it's not who starts, it's who finishes and who does a good job. That's the way, we teach our program, and that's the way we expect it to be. If your number's called, you go and perform up to the best of your abilities. And I think all those guys, because they do get along so well, it's not a envy from those guys about playing time. They help each other when they come to the sideline. So, like I say, we may see all 3 of our quarterbacks play again this weekend.
Talking about your defense, you guys are great at getting to the quarterback. You're great at tackles for loss. Where's the gray area there? Where's the loss as far as turnovers? It seems as though you guys can get to the man with the ball, but you've had a problem getting turnovers.
Yeah, and I definitely think at some times when you have a young ball club, they may take some things for granted in terms of pursuit angles, different things like that. But also it comes with just having group tackles, gang tackles. And then, a lot of those guys play defense because they can't catch. I don't know how many interceptions we've dropped, but it's way too many for my liking. So we did get one the other day, but we probably should have had maybe around 3. But, it's just something that comes with having a young ball club. Sometimes you're going to get them and sometimes you won't. But we just have to keep on running to the football. The more hats we get to the football, then the more turnovers we'll get.
Logistically for you, is this week going to be sort of a nightmare as far as tickets and having to say hello to people and not say hello to certain people?
Nah, I don't look at it like that because I know a lot of people down there are going to be pulling for me. But, my sister always handles my ticket requests. So if anybody wants tickets, give her a call. But the only people I'm going to guarantee tickets for is my dad, my sister, and a couple other relatives and a couple of my high school and collegiate coaches that are still in Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm. How rare is this for you? Because I think as an assistant, you were at Grambling, you didn't have to play at Mumford, and as a coach or assistant at Prairie View, you only came there, maybe 3 times?
I think maybe 3 times. So, it's good to go home, but at the same time, it's a business trip. The only thing that I may change a little bit, I have a younger cousin that spent some time with me. I may go watch his Little League game on Saturday morning, and then I plan to let my son probably go hunting with my dad on Saturday morning. Other than that, nothing's going to change.
Yeah. So you got to miss out on the hunting trip.
I may go for about an hour, so it's right across the river, if you know what I'm saying. So it's not away from the stadium.
I hear you. As far as your defense, what would you like to see from them a little bit more? You've been able to get wins, but not able to, hold teams down to low point output.
Just more consistency. Number one, stopping the run, and then not giving up the big plays in the passing game. We're starting a true freshman at one cornerback spot, but he has a responsibility to those other 10 guys. And then Moses Ellis, who led the nation in interceptions, is struggling with an ankle injury, and he doesn't have any interceptions right now. So we just got to, not give up the big plays in the passing game. I think we're doing better against the run, but, we gave up over a 70-yard touchdown. A bad angle by a defensive end, a missed tackle by a safety, then a bad angle by another safety led to a long run. But other than that, I thought we played much better against the run than we had in the past.
Offensively, do you have an identity yet, or is that still something that you're looking for?
Yeah, I think we do. Make people defend from sideline to sideline, front to back, and that's exactly what happened in the Grambling game. I tell our guys, if we can run the ball, we can do a whole lot of stuff. Our playbooks can get pretty big. But if you look at it, a lot of it is the same thing, just served up differently. But if we can run the ball, we can do a lot of things. And like I said, we made them defend from sideline to sideline and front to back. Once we got them going sideways, we were able to hit them over the top, and that's what I wanted. Then in the fourth quarter, because we were going at such a fast pace, I think they got a little bit tired, and we were able to run the clock out at the end of the ball game. That's what I'm most proud of, being able to run the ball in the fourth quarter.
Coach, you talked about the win over Grambling and how those don't come around very often. This is 2 out of the last 3 years. Is that kind of a benchmark for your program a little bit?
No, not really. It was sort of funny because I was looking at a lady's T-shirt as I was walking from our bus to the locker room, and it basically said, you can call it a rivalry, but we don't. And it basically had, 48 wins for Graham. I think it may have said like 13 or something for Prairie View. So, it's just a statement. We just needed a win. I wouldn't have really cared who it was against, but we just wanted a win. A win against Grambling, it means a lot, but we don't get rings for that win right now. But like I told my guys, you don't win championship in October, but you definitely can lose them.
Well, and speaking of that, you find a team that's in first place, by a half game over Southern and Arkansas Pine Bluff. So this battle in Baton Rouge becomes for first place. After that first week, did you think your team could get to this point?
Yeah, like I said, it was a non-conference game, and we quickly licked our wounds and got back ready for conference play. But like I say, I'm still not focusing our guys on playing for first place. I'm focusing our guys on getting the process right. If you keep getting the process right, then at the end, me being the math guy, I know that the answer is going to be right. And I just tell them, hey, win 1 in a row. Don't worry about the big picture. Just look at that small area that you're working on. It's like cutting a big field. Focus on what you're cutting right now and don't look at the whole field. Just break it down in bits and pieces, and eventually you'll have a nice, lined up, clean-cut field.
Finally, you did give up 175 yards to one back and 164 to a receiver. Any concern there about kind of big play capabilities?
Oh, definitely. When you give up that type of yardage to basically 2 guys, and we knew that Mario, number 1, was an outstanding receiver, and he just makes some plays. There's certain things that as a coach my opinion, at times there is nothing you can do about. Doug used to say, sometimes you just that's genetics right there. And it's absolutely nothing. You can double team a guy, and he'll still go up and make a play. But it poses some concern. But I think when you win, you can not overlook it, but you have to fix the definite cause of the problem, where it's alignment, assignment, or the technique, and we'll just get back to the drawing board on one of those three things.
Coach Ken, questions for Coach Northern.
Coach Ken Rashad, TSPN Sports. I addressed this question to Doug earlier,
Yes,
Coach
sir.
Williams, regarding the environment of the State Fair Classic, and you having been involved in that game in one way or the other. Do you notice anything extraordinary about the environment of the event during the course of the game that may appear to be somewhat of a distraction to your players in the course of the game?
In my opinion, yes. We were on the home side, so we got a little bit more of the Ronald McDonald on the sideline doing a check presentation, or some rap group on the sideline, or we're a no-huddle, fast-tempo offense, and while we're in our no-huddle calling out plays, you may have a commercial playing from the Marine Corps or from some after party that's going on. So, like I say, it was a little bit different for me because we were on the home sideline, so we got a little bit more of the people in the way. Coming out after halftime, you had the band. Fortunately for me, my son and the drum major are real good friends, so I run over to him, hey, man, you got to do something to get the band off the field. We're getting ready to play, and we got to get all these people out of the way. So I think that may have been a distractor for us because, had we been a huddle-up offense, it may not have been as bad, but because we're a no-huddle offense, quarterback calling the plays or somebody from the sideline calling the plays, it was a little bit of a distraction, in my opinion, because we were the home team and because of our offense, yes.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Any final questions for Head Coach Northern?
Coach, could you talk about your defensive end, Hamilton, and what makes him such a good guy at getting to the quarterback?
He plays very hard, and he probably gave away at least 3 sacks where, he may have peeked inside. And certain times we give him that leeway, but there are other times where he has to know he can't take that look inside. But he's just a relentless ball player. He plays hard. He plays with passion. He plays with speed. He plays with aggressiveness. He arrives at the football in a bad mood in a lot of instances. But like I say, I have to tell him, hey, don't be satisfied with getting a sack. We want the sack, the force former, and the scoop and score, and that's what we look forward to him doing better. I mean, I think a big part of that too is we're getting a little bit of a push up the middle, and then we also have another outstanding defensive end on the other side in Jarvis Wilson.